Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now today I'll be showing you guys how to make your own little blaster turrets for your little minifigures so that they can use them in your mocks, in your playsets, in your whatever. Now I'm going to teach you guys 9 different unique turrets from the Battlefront games and from the movies, and we're going to be doing turrets from all eras, so no matter if you have a sequel era mock or a prequel era mock or just an original trilogy mock, you should be able to get some form of a turret that you can use. Now first up we have the standard anti-infantry turret from the original Battlefront games. Now these are the pieces that you will need to build this turret. Now color doesn't matter. You can mix and match as you wish, but ideally you would use this kind of color combination, grays and then some black pieces. Now the first thing we are going to do is set up the rounding front of the turret. Then we are going to use the wheel cover piece on the inside to give it a nice little finish. Put that aside for a second and then make this a little platform. You're gonna have to put a stud at the bottom so that if you place it on a Lego platform, it can still rotate. Now you'll have to add these pieces. This will allow us to connect the whole thing together at the end and make sure that it doesn't fall apart. Now on top of the base frame, you want to put the little brick with a peg hole in it. That's where the gun's going to be mounted, and then underneath you want to put one of those thin 2x1 plates because otherwise it doesn't fit. Now you should be able to attach the rounded front to the main frame of the turret. Now we need to finish off the sides of the turret, and we're going to do that by attaching 2 wing pieces to clips and then attaching that to the turret. And then by very simply attaching this peg to the front of this blaster thing, we have a little cannon that can be attached to the front of the turret. And then all that is left is to add your little minifigure inside the turret, and he can guard whatever area or outpost you want him to. Next up we have the anti-infantry turret from the standard Battlefront. Now this doesn't require an actual minifigure to shoot the turret because it's fully automated. It's also a little smaller than the other turrets. Here you can see the pieces that you will need. Once again, you don't have to specifically worry about color, but a kind of grayish color is generally the best. Now the first thing we want to do is create the tripod legs on which the turret eventually is going to sit. Then we are going to put that aside for a second, and we are going to create the main part of the turret, and we're going to be using a tiny set of binoculars as the scanner and 2 flick missiles as the barrels for the cannon. All that's left is to attach the 2 pieces together and you have your finished turret. Moving on, we have the anti-vehicle turret, which is also from the new Battlefront. Due to the similarity in the design, the pieces you need are very similar to the anti-infantry turret. Now the tripod stand is created in the same way as the one for the anti-infantry turret. The actual turret part is slightly different though, as it has 8 missiles instead of 2 barrels. At the end, all you have to do is attach the 2 pieces together and you're done. Moving away from the Battlefront games and more towards the movies, from the Empire Strikes Back, we have the E-Web blast, which was used by snowtroopers during the Battle of Hoth. To make the E-Web blast, you're going to need these pieces. The little hose is especially hard to come by. The first thing you have to do is build up the central blaster, as you can see here on the screen. Then we want to move over to the tripod. Now we're going to use the transparent piece at the bottom so that we can attach it to, for example, the ground of your mock or something. When you attach this to the blaster, you're almost done. Now we have to make the little energy pack box, and then we can use the hose to attach it back to the main gun. And there you have your completed E-Web blaster. Keeping in line with the Empire Strikes Back and the Battle of Hoth, we have the Rebel dish turrets that they use to defend Echo Base. To make the Hoth dish turret, you're going to need these pieces. Now you can see here that there are 7 little clip pieces, but 2 of them are a different color. That is because I just don't have that many clip pieces of the same color, and that might be an issue you guys will have as well. The first thing you want to do is attach the attachment mechanism to the back of the disc. Next, we're going to put in the energy shells in the disc. Now I suggest that you slant the clips a little bit because that looks a little cooler. Then you want to make the barrel, or well, beam focuser of the cannon and attach it to the disc. Put that aside for a second, and we're going to work on the turret part, which is a little turning area where a minifigure can also sit. Now all that's left is to attach the disc, and then you're done. Now I did say we're going to do all the eras, so here we have one from the sequels, the FWMB-10. Since it's a handheld weapon, you need relatively little pieces because it's a little gun. Now the first thing you want to do is build the base gun, and then you're going to attach little things on the outside, and please note that the claw is right there at the bottom. Next, you want to make a simple little stand, and then you are going to attach this to the claw part. And ta-da! There you have your FWMB-10. Of course, the stand can be folded in just like the real thing, and it can be held by your little stormtrooper on the move. Shifting time all the way back to the prequels, we are going to make one of these little Wookiee turrets from the Battle of Kashyyyk. To make this, you are going to need these pieces. Those little things there in the bottom, those are minifigure skis, by the way. The first thing we're going to make is the very characteristic kind of slanted back mount of the gun. On top of this, you want to build the core of the gun and its 2 heavy barrels. Then you attach the 2 skis on the side as kind of a shield. Finally, you add the little handlebars at the back so that a Wookiee can fire the gun. For the clones, we have this nice little light blaster cannon which can be used against infantry but also against vehicles. To make this cannon, you're gonna need these pieces. And now the little lightsaber blade can be any color because it's gonna be in the center of your weapon and no one's gonna see it anyway. Now the first thing you want to do is make the core of the weapon, and you're going to use the lightsaber blade as kind of the center of your barrel. After that, we're going to make the mount, and unlike most, which are 3-legged, this one is a 4-legged mount, and you're going to put a stud in the middle so that the blaster can rotate. Finally, just plop the blaster on top and you're ready to go. I saved the best design for last, and that is the particle cannon turret from Battlefront. Now you're going to need quite a few pieces to make this turret because yeah, it's getting a little big to be a minifigure turret for one of these tutorial videos, but you know what they say, go big or go home. The first thing we're going to make is once again the mount, and we're using the same rotating system as the laser beam turret all the way at the beginning of the video. However, since this is a bigger blaster, we're going to need a bigger mount, and we're going to do that using some Technic pieces. Since the turret is a bit bigger, there was a little bit more space for customization, and we're going to add some spring launchers because I have way too many of these fucking things. And I thought, why not? Now, you want to just build it as you see on the screen. Now, you may want to change the interface depending on who is using the blaster. I have made it like this so that both battle droids and minifigures can use the seat. And finally, we are going to attach it to the mount using some more Technic pieces. As you can see, this turret is a bit big and a bit off balance, so I suggest using a platform so that it can stand nicely. Well guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and I hope it was helpful. If you liked it, leave a like down below. And also, maybe consider subscribing to my channel because that really helps me out. And you can also click right over there to watch another video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time.